Yes, it's recording. My setup is pretty shoddy. Basically, my camera is charging as I use it, which I know is really bad. I'm having to use the mirror behind the camera to make sure that everything's all good. But because it's been a little while since I made a video, I thought I'd make one. Today I'm going to be essentially reading 10 to 1 in the morning thoughts from the 1st of August. When I can't sleep, it tends to be because there's something like grating in my head. I tend to write stuff down if I can't stop thinking about it, because it's kind of like having a diary, but without it actually being a diary. It's been one of those things that I keep going back to and thinking about. I thought I'd make a video about it, and hopefully I'll stop thinking about it enough for me to sleep properly for one night. That would be great. It's a nice little note on my phone about why it took so long for me to come out. I'm gonna sort of like try and read it but like paraphrase it as well. I started learning about different sexualities and gender identities when I was about 14, so about 10 years ago, and that's painful for me to say. While I was learning about it all, half of my brain was going, this is it, this is why you feel wrong, this is why you isolate yourself, and why it's hard for you to make friends, and why you don't like talking to people, and why you're so uncomfortable. And then half of my brain was going, no it's not, you're making yourself believe that because you're excited to learn something new and you just want it to be true because you're learning about it now and you want it to be a personal thing. So I had my brain constantly battling between, am I just excited about learning stuff, and no, this is genuinely how I feel. That internal battle was a nightmare, and I had to deal with it for years, but it's done now. I'm accepting myself, it's out there. So when I was 15, because I had relationships when I was like a teenager. I had boyfriends, I had one girlfriend, but I never felt comfortable with boys. And my first female relationship, I was like pushing myself a little bit because I was like, hey, I might be bi, I think I like girls. And then I found one other person who liked girls in the town that I lived in at the time, and I was like, oh yeah, let's date, which was the worst choice. You shouldn't date someone just because they're there. You should get to know someone and then be like, hey, let's do this, let's have a relationship, let's be a couple, which was not the case for me. I felt very uncomfortable in that relationship and it didn't last very long. But then I had my first like proper real relationship where I met this person online and we spoke for a bit, and then we met up and we started dating. We were together for just over a year. It was one of those relationships where I was actually finally into someone and felt comfortable and didn't want it to just be a platonic relationship. Like, I fancied them and wanted to be a proper relationship. And obviously around this time I was just coming to terms with the fact that I was gay and was questioning my gender identity. And after being with this person for a little while, a few months I think, I tested the waters to be like, oh hey, would you still like be with me and love me if I was a boy? And they said no, I'm a lesbian, I like girls, so I wouldn't be with a boy. And it broke me, so I repressed a lot because I didn't want to lose this relationship. I didn't want to lose the feeling of like being in love. Yeah, so it was a bit awkward and weird, so I repressed it, never spoke about it again, tried not to think about it. And when it did pop into my head, I would tell myself that I was being stupid and that I wasn't a boy, and to just get over it, essentially, which was really unhealthy and not good. And then towards the end of that relationship, we broke up, obviously, because I hit a severe depression. I didn't feel like I could even like myself, so how could I love someone else? If I don't even like me, why would anyone else like me, let alone love me? You know, that fun stuff. And I genuinely didn't believe that I would make it to, like, being an adult. I kept researching about, like, trans stuff because I wanted to know that it would get better. Part of me wanted to know that it got better and that I could, you know, come out and be a boy and have a relationship and be happy and be loved and the stuff that I am now, but it was hard to find then. It kind of just felt like it wasn't going to get better and I wasn't going to have this relationship and I wasn't going to be happy. So I kept hiding it and repressing it and living with the self-hatred, which, you know. So after doing all this research about being trans and, like, feeling wrong, I started to find out about non-binary and I was just like, I didn't know this. What is going on? And I felt so comfortable being like, I can present masculine and still be a girl, and it's not weird. Like, if people think I'm a boy, that's fine, but I know that my body is female, so, like, that's also fine. I don't have to be girly girl and I don't have to be a boy. Last bit of paragraph thing is, it got to a point where identifying as non-binary didn't feel right anymore. And that's when I knew for definite that I was trans and a male, and I wanted he, him pronouns, and I wanted to change my name, and I wanted to change my gender marker, and I want to go through the full transition, and it all sort of fell into place, and I was like, everything makes so much sense. Like, I want to be the dude that I am in my head. Physically, I want to be that guy. But then it got to the point where I was like, wait, I'm too old now. Like, I'm not a teenager. I'm not prepubescent. I can't transition anymore. Don't be stupid. You've lived this long in your female body. Just accept the fact that you're non-binary. And I'm 24. Like, I'm still young. This whole you're too old to transition is like, it was so stupid. Surgeries, hormone replacement, that kind of stuff doesn't make you trans, and it doesn't make you more of a man in my case. I'm just rambling now because it's now in my head that it's just so stupid that I thought that I was too old to transition. I mean, thinking about it, it's like, it's 10 years since it clicked that I was probably trans. And then 8 years ago I was like, I think I might be. And then it got shot down. And I'm not blaming my ex for me not coming out or for any of my mental health problems. Like, I'm not blaming them. If I had had someone like Lizzie then, I think I probably would have come out sooner and been happier. I think what gets me is the ex that told me, no, I'm a lesbian, I like girls, is a trans man and has been on T for a while, legally changed his name. And I get that he was probably in denial when he said, no, I'm a lesbian. But it just sucks, you know? It just sucks. I just needed support and I didn't get it. And I'm a very fragile human being. This video is all over the place. I'm so sorry. I think I'm just bitter. And it's not nice to be bitter, so I'm gonna let it go. And I think I just needed to make this video so that I could let it go. There's why it took so long for me to come out. Hopefully this video isn't too long and too rambly and rubbish. I'm sorry if it is, but I needed to get it out. I just needed to get it all out. Or I already feel better by just saying it out loud and having this little rant. Yeah, I'm gonna go because I have stuff to do. So just remember, if you're feeling insecure about the way that you are, or you're questioning your sexuality or gender identity or something, you're valid. You can change the way that you identify as many times as you need to feel comfortable. I'll see you after my holiday, and I hope you have a great day, night, weekend. I don't know.